Confiscate the money. That girl is a real proud beast. Small world, all her friends know me.
So we are back to the brand new episode of the MLB The Show 16 Blue Jays franchise, and it's episode 90, so we're going to take a look at the year 2020 in the MLB overview. Instead of doing a team overview for this season, we're going to do an MLB overview, looking over the entire MLB roster, earliest lineups, and pitching rotations. So I'm going to go through all the 32 teams in the MLB. So let's go get right into this. So the first team on here is the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks do have a pretty good roster, I guess you could say that. They have Bryce Harper in right field, 99 overall. They also have, obviously they have Yasmani Thomas, 82 overall in left field. Sterling Castro, 91 overall at second base. They have Maikel Franco, 88 overall at third base. They have Jake Lamb, Wellington Castillo. They have Alexi Amarista. I mean, they have a pretty good roster when it comes to their lineup, but when it comes to their pitching rotation, they have a pretty good rotation too, I guess you could say. Zach Greinke, 95 overall righty. He's a pretty good pitcher still in the year 2020, but the rest of the rotation, pretty weak, I guess you could say. Their relievers, they're alright, but other than that, their pitching's okay, I guess. Their lineup's pretty good, their pitching's okay. But let's get right into the next team, though. Next team on this list is the Atlanta Braves. The Braves, they do have an okay roster, I guess you could say. They have Freddie Freeman at first base, 89 overall. Other than that, I guess they have Logan Forsythe at second base, but their team, it's pretty weak, I guess you could say. They have, like, Jason McClain in center field, 74 overall. So I guess their roster's pretty weak right now, but when it comes to their pitching rotation, they do have a decent rotation, I guess. They have Matt Weisler at 83 overall as their ace. But then they also have a few guys at 82, 80 overall, and 77. So I guess it's okay, but other than that, I'm pretty sure their relievers are okay too, I guess. Other than that, their team is just a decent team in the MLB in 2020. Next up is the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles, they do have a pretty good roster still. Have D. Gordon, 90 overall at second base, just killing it right now. They have Chris Davis, 89 overall at first base. Chris Davis has gotten so many awards ever since the year 2016, so he's having a great career after in the simulation. But Manny Machado at third base, 94 overall. You have Adam Jones in at DH right now, 85 overall. He's also a center fielder too, still on the team. But other than that, their team is the rest of the roster is okay, I guess. But when it comes to their rotation, though, their pitching rotation is pretty bad, I guess you could say. That it's 82 overall. They got a few 82s, they got two 80s, and a 75 in their starting rotation. But when it comes to relievers, they do still have Zach Britton at their closer. Zach Britton's still killing it in 2020, but the relievers are okay too, I guess. But let's get right into the next team. Next team is the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox, their prospects have panned out so well for their team. It's incredible to see how good it's going. But right now, at shortstop, they do have Xander Bogaerts, 92 overall. In left field, they have Jackie Bradley Jr., 83 overall. At DH, they have their new auto-generated prospect, or not really prospect. Their new auto-generated second baseman in Todd DeBow. He's playing DH right now, but he's 92 overall. Great hitter. Going to be one of the best players in the world a few seasons from now. But in center fielder, they still have Mookie Betts at center field, 89 overall. Still doing very well. They also have Yonder Alonso, 88 overall at first base. They have Resny Castillo at right field. They have Blake Swihart at catcher. They have Josh Rutledge at third base, 79 overall. Plus, they have Dustin Pedroia still at second base, 83 overall. So Pedroia is still on the Red Sox for his entire career so far. But on the neck, when it comes to rotation, they still have David Price, 93 overall. And just like in real life, David Price, he's okay, but he's not really that good, though, during the regular season. In playoffs, he still chokes in playoffs usually still. But yeah, and their second pitcher, they do have Eduardo Rodriguez, 85 overall. They have Clay Buchholz, they have Rick Porcello, 81 overall. And they do have Ruby De La Rosa, 81 overall. So great rotation, great lineup. They're probably one of the MLB's best, I guess, overall teams in the league. But when it comes to relievers, they still have a pretty good relieving team, I guess. They have Craig Kimbrell at closer, still a great closer in 2020. But the relievers, really a few no names, but they're still great overalls, they're like 75 and up. So great team is the Boston Red Sox in 2020. Next comes up the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs, they won the World Series here in 2016 in real life, but on here, I think they won one or two World Series so far through 2020. But when it comes to their lineup, I'd say their lineup is the best lineup in the MLB. It's even better than the Blue Jays one that I have set up for my team. But when it comes to the Cubs lineup, they have Jason Hayward, 93 overall in right field. Third base, they have Chris Bryant, 94 overall. At first base, they have Anthony Rizzo, 94 overall. Used to be 99 overall. Anthony Rizzo, a three-time NL MVP ever since 2016, so he's still killing it there. Probably one of the greatest players of all time. But left field, they have Kyle Schwarber, 88 overall. Shortstop, they do have their man, Aston Russell, 92 overall. Second base, they have Javier Baez, 82. And then they have a few no names. They have Gary Sanchez at catcher, 81 overall. And they have Lorenzo Cain in center field at 85 overall. So, great overall team in MLB. Probably with a perfect probably the best team that will be, I'd say so, in roster. But when it comes to the rotation, they do have a pretty decent rotation, I guess. They have Yu Darvish, 86 overall. They obviously did lose Jake Arrieta and most of their pitching staff, I guess, from 2016. But they also have Kyle Hendricks, 82 overall. They have Chris Tillman, 82. They have Scott Jean, 78, and they have Aaron Brooks, 75. But the relieving team, they have a pretty good relieving team too, I guess. There's no overalls on there I could show you right now, but the relieving team, it's a few 70s, but there's no really great, I guess, relievers in that one. But their catcher, or their closer, Hector Rondon, is still okay, I guess. So a great team is the Chicago Cubs, one of the best teams in MLB right now. Up next is the Reds. The Reds do have a pretty decent team, I guess. They have Raymond Batista leading them off. They have Joey Votto at first base, still 97 overall. They have Miguel Sano, 85 overall. But their team is pretty weak, I guess you could say. They have a few 69s, 70s. But other than that, they're a pretty decent team, I guess, when it comes to the lineup. Their pitching staff, though, they do have Patrick Corbin, 86 overall. But other than that, their pitching staff is weak, though. 75s, 71s, 72s. It's pretty bad, I guess you could say. But their closers, they have Brad Boxberger. He's still killing it right now in 2020. But the Reds, they're an okay team, I guess. They're above 500, but they're not like World Series quality talent yet. Up next is the Cleveland Indians. The Indians, they have a great team 2020. They have 95 overall Michael Brantley. I'd say, I'd really want him on my team, but Michael Brantley, too hard to acquire on this game. But at shortstop, they do have Francisco Lindor, 94 overall. At right field, they have Carlos Gonzalez, 90 overall. They have Jason Kipnis at second base. They do have a pretty good roster, I guess you could say that, for their lineup. But when it comes to their pitching staff, they have Danny Salazar, 89 overall. They have Trevor Bauer, the drone boy, 83 overall. They have Derek Ramos, 77 overall. And I guess it's an okay rotation right there. But when it comes to the relief staff, they have Zach McAllister, great reliever there. And their closer, I guess, is an unknown Harold Callahan. But other than that, I guess they're an okay team there in 2020. They're not, I guess they're up there when it comes to World Series quality talent. But other than that, they're not as good as like a Chicago Cubs type team or a Blue Jays type team yet. Up next is, I'd say, probably the hell of the MLB right now, at least in this game mode, the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies, in 2020, they did end up losing their most prized possession on there at third base, obviously. They did end up losing Nolan Arenado. So Nolan Arenado they lost him in free agencies because they couldn't handle him because he wanted way too much money, plus he did not want to be there at all. Colorado, terrible team right now. As you can see, 70s, there's a few 70s there. Other than that, they have a pretty weak team when it comes to their starting lineup. But look at their rotation, though. The rotation, probably the best in MLB, even though their lineup is so weak. They have Matt Harvey, 94 overall, Corey Kluber, 87 overall, they have John Gray, 86, Cole Hamels, 86, they have Jake Odorizzi, 85, so great starting rotation. But look at their lineup needs way more attention. If I could get my hands on this roster, I'd make this completely different, and it'd be a great team. But other than that, their relief pitching staff, obviously a great relieving staff, because they spent all their money on pitching, but didn't leave enough for their catchers, or their overall lineup, basically. Their lineup is weak, their pitching is great. They also have the closer Jake McGee, great closer there on the team. So the Colorado Rockies need some help when it comes to their lineup, but other than that, their pitching is spot on, probably the best in MLB. Up next is the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox, they have Sam Valencia, 83 overall. They have Jose Abreu, 86. They have Marcell Ozuna, 84. They have an okay roster. It's not the greatest, but it is not the worst, though, in the MLB. When it comes to their pitching staff, they do have Chris Sale, 93 overall. They have Carlos Rendon. They have 85 overall. Eric De Los Santos, 83 overall. Jose Quintana, 80 overall. So great pitching staff, plus an okay lineup. They're an okay team, I guess you could say. They also have the closer Houston Street, one of the best in the MLB. Always in the All-Star games whenever I see him on there. Up next, though, is the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers, same kind of thing. They have an okay roster. Look at their roster. They do have Miguel Cabrera, obviously. Miggy, 95 overall. They have Billy Bellinger, 82 overall at shortstop. They have Justin Upton, 94 overall in left field. So, great. There's a few superstars in there, like Jose Iglesias, too, 87 overall. But the rest of the players, like their DH, 70 overall. Their center fielder, 74. Their catcher, 73 overall. There's a few holes in that one. Other than that, a great team right there in that league. But when it comes to their pitching staff, they do Sonny Gray, 89 overall. They have Jordan Zimmerman, 87 overall. And the rest are like 79s and below. So I'd say an okay team, though. They do have the closer David Robinson, so a great closer and overall team, I guess. They're not bad, but they're not really top, a complete team, basically. They're not a complete team. They're a team in progress. Up next is the Houston Astros, and they have a great line for 2020 still. They have Jose Altuve, 90 overall, Carlos Gomez, 91 overall, Carlos Correa, 91 overall, George Springer, 93 overall, John Singleton, 86, Jake Marisnick, 81, and then they have a 72, a 75, and they have Jason Castro at catcher at 83 overall. So great overall lineup. When it comes to their pitching staff is okay, I guess. They're not that bad, but they're not that good. They have Jeremy Ellickson 82, Joe Ross 81, Jordan Lyles 75, and so on. So great overall lineup, okay pitching staff, and their closer Ken Giles is a great closer. But let's go on to the next team. Next team is the Kansas City Royals, and it's safe to say that they have a horrible team, I guess, when it comes to their lineup. Their pitching staff, a great pitching staff, but their lineup is terrible. I don't know why they don't get better players for their lineup and maybe trim down their rotation just a bit. But when it comes to their lineup, whole bunch of mid-70s, not even 80 overall player on their team because they lost Eric Hosmer, Lorenzo Cain. They also lost, I believe, Salvador Perez. They also lost their third baseman, Mike Moustakas, to free agency. So all their superstars gone in free agency, plus Alex Gordon is not on the team anymore. So, I mean, what a fall from grace in the Kansas City Royals. Title in 2015, and then just terrible in 2020. But their pitching staff, though, probably one of the best in MLB, I'd say so myself. Jake Arrieta, 97 overall, Lance Lynn, 86 overall, John Lester, 86, Yordano Ventura, 84, and Colin McHugh, 84 overall. So great overall pitching staff, and Wade Davis, a closer, too. So great closer, great pitching staff, but horrible lineup. I don't know why they don't trim down that rotation and bring some great players into their lineup. Up next, though, is the LA Angels, and oh my god, their team is amazing, though. Look at this. 85 overall, Billy Hamilton. 82 overall, Sammy Vaccaro, former Rookie of the Year. They have Paul Goldschmidt, 97 overall. Mike Trout, 99 overall. Cole Calhoun, 85 overall. Nick Castellanos, 83 overall. Omar Gutierrez, 78. Johnny Giavotella, 78. And Christian Colon, 79. So great overall lineup there. And their pitching staff is actually not that bad either. They have Andrew Heaney, 86. They have Garrett Richards, 84. Tyler Skaggs, 84. Matt Shoemaker, 78. And Nick Tropino, 76. So just a great team overall. Probably the best team in the MLB. I believe they lost out in the NLDS last season. But other than that, great overall lineup, though, by the LA Angels. And their closer, I guess, AJ Fissler, is not that bad either. But up next, though, is the LA Dodgers. They have DJ LeMahieu, 89 overall. They have Corey Seager, 91 overall. But other than that, I don't know. Their lineup is kind of spotty, I guess. They have a few 75s, but I don't know. They're okay 75s, I guess you could say. But their pitching staff, 99 overall Clayton Kershaw, 87 overall Alex Cobb, 83 overall Aaron Sanchez, 82 overall Nigel Paget, and 82 overall Zach Lee. So great rotation, okay lineup. And their closer, Kenley Jansen, still okay there. The next up on the list, though, is the Miami Marlins in 2020. The Marlins, they have a pretty good lineup, I guess you could say. At leadoff, they have Christian Yelich, 84 overall. They have Stanton, 94 overall in right field. They have Mike Moustakas, 84 at third base. And at second base, they have Jonathan Scope, 86 overall, so not too bad of a lineup there. But when it comes to their pitching staff, they have pretty good pitching staff, I guess. They have 85, 86, 82, 73, and 73. But their closer, Buster Dupree, he's okay too, so I guess a decent overall team by the Miami Marlins in 2020. Next up, though, is the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, I don't know what to really think of their lineup. They still have 91 overall Ryan Braun still playing there in left field. But other than that, they have a few 84s, like 84, 80, 72s. Like, I don't know what to think of their lineup, basically. But when it comes to their pitching staff, I guess, is pretty bad considering their lineup. They have 81 overall Jorge Lopez. But other than that, they have like 79, 76, 76, and 74. But their closer, Will Smith, not too bad there. Still 2020. So I guess I don't know what to really think of the Milwaukee Brewers there in 2020, though. Next up, though, is the Minnesota Twins. The Twins, they have Danny Santana, 81 overall, Kevin Pillar, 84, Corey Dickerson, 86, Oswaldo Arcia, 86, Kenny Vargas, 80 overall, Brian Dozier, 89, and Jorge Polanco, 84. So, I guess great overall lineup by the Twins. The rotation, not too bad either. They have 84, 81, 83, 79, and then 74. Phil Hughes on there, still on the team. So, I guess great overall team by the Twins. Plus, they have Glenn Perkins, still a closer, still killing their at closer. But other than that, great team by the Twins in 2020. Next up, though, is the New York Mets. The Mets, they have not too bad of a roster, I guess. Their roster, or their lineup, they have Yan Gomes, 87, Michael Conforto, 87, they have Andrelton Simmons, 84, they have Eric Perez, 82, so not too bad of a lineup, I guess, but they have a 71 overall, a 77, a 76, so I really don't know what to really think of them as their lineup. Their pitching staff, they do have Jacob deGrom, 91 overall, they have Thor, 88, they have Tyson Ross, 86, Steven Matz, 85, and Mike Taguchi, 77, so not too bad of a pitching staff right there. Even though he did lose Matt Harvey, it's not too bad still, 2020. Next up, though, is the New York Yankees. The Yankees, they have Jacoby Ellsbury, great overall roster, I guess you could say. They have Jacoby Ellsbury, 83 overall, Greg Bird, 84, Matt Carpenter, 88, Jorge Soler, 88. They have Prince Fielder, who won the Hank Aaron last year, 84 overall, Matt Duffy, 81, Travis D'Arnard, 84 overall. They have Luis Horner, 79, and they do have Barwin Gonzalez, 79. So I guess great overall roster by the New York Yankees. Their pitching staff, not too bad either. They have Tanaka, 90 overall, Severino, 92, they have Pineda, 87, Evaldi, 80 overall. They have Carlos Ozuna, 87. So I'd probably say they're one of the best overall teams in the MLB. We did end up losing to them in the LDS last year, so New York Yankees, one of the best teams in the MLB. Plus, the Aroldis Chapman can throw over 100 miles per hour on his fastball at closer. So, just overall great team. Next up is the Oakland Athletics. They have a pretty good roster, I guess. They have Billy Burns 83, they have Halsey 73, they have Puig 87. They have Semyon 84, they have McKinley 81 overall, they have Fegley 81 overall catcher, but the rotation, I guess, they have Michael Walker 88, Jesse Yon 83, Montez 82, they have Leake 81, they have Ryan Walker 76, so I guess they have a pretty good roster there when it comes to their pitching staff and their overall lineup. Their lineup, though, I don't know what to think of their lineup, I guess. It's okay, but it's not that bad, though. Next up, though, is the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Phillies, they're the same old team. They don't know what they're doing. They do have 92 overall Salvador Perez, which is a great acquisition. Other than that, though, their lineup is so weak, but when it comes to their pitching staff is a great staff. They have Shelby Miller 89 overall, Willie Ozuna 87, Aaron Nola 85, Vince Velasquez 83, and so I guess, their pitching is great, though. Their lineup, they don't know what to do with their lineup, so they really need some pointers on how to run a lineup, though. Next up, though, is the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates, they have a great overall lineup, probably one of the best in the MLB. They have 86 overall Polanco, 86 overall Harrison, 94 overall McCutchen, 88 overall Chris Davis, 89 overall Nolan Arenado. They just stole from the free agency this season. But their pitching staff, they have 86 overall Gosman, 87 overall Latos, 80 overall Locke, and a 79 and a 78. So, probably one of the best teams in the MLB. I'm pretty sure they're going to win the title next year, just based on Nolan Arenado in the lineup. Next up, though, is the San Diego Padres. The Padres, look how bad their lineup, though, is, though. All mid-70s and low 70s, except Klay Thompson's brothers, 80 overall. So, and look at their pitching staff, though. Pitching staff, 85 overall, 83 overall Homer Bailey, 80 overall Amos, 80 overall Green, and Maurer, 76. So, I mean, I don't know what's up with all these bad teams having good pitching staffs, but horrible overall lineups. I don't get how they don't get a good lineup, plus a good balance between both. It doesn't make sense how they make their roster. Next up, though, is a pretty decent team, I guess you'd say, in the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners, mid-70s, and they have 86 overall Kyle Seager, 81 overall Anthony Mosher, 83 overall Reggie Wolf at catcher. And their pitching rotation is pretty good, too. They have Felix Hernandez, King Felix, 93 overall, Taijuan Walker, 86, Peter Nadeau, 85, Carlos Carrasco, 85, and Matt Moore, 81. So, great overall pitching staff, plus a decent lineup. I usually don't even see that in this game so far. So, I guess the Mariners building a complete roster there in 2020. Next up is the San Francisco Giants. The Giants, they have a pretty good roster too, pretty balanced between the pitching staff and their lineup. They have 86 overall Hunter Pence, 92 overall Eric Hosmer at first base, 94 overall Buster Posey at catcher, 88 overall Brandon Crawford at shortstop, 81 overall Joe Panik at second base, and overall decent roster there on their lineup. But when it comes to their pitching staff, they have 91 overall Johnny Cuello, 85 overall Julio Teheran, 83 overall Mike Minor, 80 overall Michael Barber, and an 82 overall Jeff Samardzija. So, I mean, their lineup is actually balanced too, just like the last team we went and reviewed. So, I mean, there's a few good, I guess, balanced teams at the end of this. Next up on the list is the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals, they have an okay roster, I guess. They have Colton Wong, 85 overall, Steven Piscotty, 85, Quincy Steiner, 83, they have Travis Shaw, 88 overall. Just an okay lineup there, but when it comes to their pitching staff, their staff is amazing. They have 91 overall Garrett Cole, 85 overall Zach Wheeler, 85 overall Jamie Garcia, 82 overall Lance McCullers, and a 78 Tim Cooney. So, I mean, their closer is not too bad too. They have Mark Mellencamp. So, I mean, their lineup is great. Their pitching staff is okay. Actually, no, the pitching staff is great. Their lineup is okay. So, I guess a decent overall team there in the St. Louis Cardinals in 2020. Next up is the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Rays, they have 89 overall AJ Pollock, 87 overall Kevin Kiermaier, 86 overall Mark Canha. They have 83 overall Garrett Hensley. They have 86 overall Evan Longoria. So just a great team there in the Tampa Bay Rays. But their pitching staff, they have 91 overall Chris Archer, 84 overall Bob Cummins. They have 81 overall Erasmo Ramirez, 79 Alex Wood, and 77 Louis Metler. So their lineup is great. Their pitching staff is okay. I don't know. They're just doing very well in building a balanced team there in 2020. Next up is the Texas Rangers, and they've built a pretty good lineup. The 88 overall Ender Suarte, 89 overall Joey Gallo, 80 overall Lonnie Chisenhall, 87 overall Rugen Odor. So a great, decent, balanced lineup, but when it comes to their pitching staff, their staff is not that bad. They have Dallas Keuchel, 93 overall, 84 overall Gigi Gonzalez, and 82 overall Francisco Liriano. So their pitching staff, not too bad. Their lineup is okay, I guess. It's a decent overall team there in the Texas Rangers. And next up is your Toronto Blue Jays. probably one of the best teams in MLB when it comes to both balanced pitching staff and lineup. They have 87 overall Byron Buxton at leadoff, 81 overall great contact hitter in Steve Casto, 98 overall Josh Donaldson, 90 overall Yoenis Cespedes, 91 overall Troy Tulowitzki, 82 overall Jock Peterson, 91 overall Will Myers, 79 Lucas Duda, and 81 overall Jamie Arias. But when it comes to their pitching staff, probably one of the best in MLB. They have 96 overall Madison Bumgarner, 88 overall Marcus Stroman, 83 overall ROCKIES, 83 overall Drew Smiley, and 80 overall Drew Hutchinson, who just won over 20 games last season. So great overall pitching staff. Plus the relievers, not too bad, and their closer still killing it is Roberto Osuna. So great overall lineup there in the Toronto Blue Jays in 2020. And next up, last but not least, is your Washington Nationals. The Nationals, great overall balanced team. They have 80 overall Starling Marte, 80 overall Ben Revere, 82 overall Cal Clifton, 86 overall Brandon Belt, 83 overall Anthony Rendon, 80 overall Wilson Ramos, 77 Michael Taylor, 81 overall Trey Turner, and the 75 Angel Ejeda. I don't know how to say that too well, but 93 overall is Steven Strasburg, is the ace on the team. They have 94 overall Max Scherzer, 87 overall Ben Lopez, 85 overall Gio Gonzalez, and 80 overall Tanner Roark. So exactly like the Blue Jays, they're a great overall team, balanced in both. But when it comes to relievers, pretty good relieving team, I guess. Their closer, Trevin Rosenthal. So that was the complete MLB in 2020. Great overall rosters. Some rosters, they have a great pitching staff, but horrible lineup. And actually, majority of the MLB is a balanced team. But if you actually want to go and download the save file of the Toronto Blue Jays franchise mode here at MLB The Show 16, just go and link the description below. Click on it, go and download it, bring on a USB drive, and bring on your PS4 if you want to go and play the same kind of roster as the MLB The Show 16 Blue Jays franchise. But this video took a lot of work to go and collect all these rosters 2020, so make sure to slap a like on it for more of these kind of videos in the Blue Jays franchise, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.